Was a thrilling 32-30 victory to South Sydney the last time these two sides met back in round 4 on the Central Coast. Since then, Manly have been superb. In fact, to win today, they will retain second spot on the premiership ladder behind Melbourne. South Sydney, well, they have been inconsistent. 6 wins, 9 losses, puts them in danger of losing contact with the top 8. Well, as you can see, Glenn Stewart is in the lineup. This is their lineup. At fullback, Brett Stewart. On the wings, Michael Robertson and David Williams. One of the co-captains, Jamie Lyon, with partner Michael Oldfield. He's in for the suspended Steve Maddai. Kieran Ford and Daly Cherry Evans are the halves. A back row, Glenn Stewart, Anthony Watmo. Vic Morrow comes into the run-on side. Jason King, the other captain, Matt Ballin and Brent Kite. Dropping back to the interchange, Joe Nullarbau with Jamie Buhrer. Shane Rodney and George Rose, and they are coached by Des Hasler. 2 weeks ago, the Rabbitohs coach John Lang said it was the best win he'd been associated with when they went to Perth and knocked over the Broncos. Well, they're on 16 competition points. 2 this afternoon would be invaluable.
This is the way they line up at fullback, Reece Wesser. On the wings, Nathan Merritt and Chris McQueen. In the centres, Dylan Farrell and Greg Inglis. In the halves, John Sutton and halfback Chris Sando. The back row, Jason Clark, lock and captain Michael Crocker and Eddie Pettybourne. And in the front row, Ben Ross, hooker Isaac Luke, Shannon McPherson. Interchange, the Englishman Luke Burgess, Dave Tyrrell, Ben Lowe, Nathan Peets, and they're coached by John Lang.
There's Glenn Stewart. He played 80 minutes on Wednesday night. He played a full game. He was good, wasn't he, Glenn? And he backs up today with Anthony Watmo, who was there with him at Origin, and Watmo celebrates his 28th birthday today. South Sydney then running left to right, running down towards the southern end of the ground. And it is Manly, of course, with first use of the football. Jason King, one of their co-captains with the ball. And this is Morrow. I'm led to believe that's the way they want it pronounced. Vic Morrow. He'll play the ball just outside the 20-metre line. The Eagles right up near the top of the table. And I would think very much a leading contender for grand final day. South with a mighty job here to do today. There's Brett Stewart finding himself a dummy half, and Michael Crocker made the tackle. Ben Ross started to backpedal back into the 10-metre line and fell over, base over apex, quite embarrassing. Ball bouncing up down there, and here's a penalty going. Penalty going against South Sydney.
Ed Pettybourne here has collected Daly Cherry Evans kicking the football. He's on the better side with his kicking foot away from Cherry Evans, but the shoulder charge.
He could have got him on a number of counts. They are very much, though, a protected species, aren't they, in the modern game. This is Glenn Stewart, who plays the ball 12 away from the line. Jason King takes it towards the middle. They run up towards the scoreboard end of Brookvale Oval. It's come on, Foran goes short. Watmo's there. Farrell has got him. He played the ball again 3 metres out from the line. McPherson in the tackle. Clark. It was. Here's a barge towards the line by Morrow. He'll play it short of the line by about a metre. Ballin way to Cherry Evans, and he's wrestled down by Michael Crocker. Brings him down 10 metres out from the line. So Ballin again as they continue to go to the right side towards the hillside of the ground. Good ball, Glenn Stewart. Foran's dangerous and scooped up by Sando.
That's one, quickly up.
Well, that was a catch that Sando had to make because Foran was going to be very hard to stop from scoring. Ball to be played now by the second rower, Jason Clark. And that was the pick up by Sando. Dummy half is Isaac Luke. South Sydney then rucking it away from their own line with Shannon McPherson. One of these youngsters for South that have been called on to play in first grade. Not only in first grade, but probably out of position. But they're getting the job done for the South Sydney people as best they can. Here is Sando clearing with a very big kick. It's an enormous kick. And Manly bringing it back through their custodian, Brett Stewart. Turns it back on the inside for Oldfield. So Foran then onto Robertson, and Robertson had Williams with him, but he's taken the tackle on the 40-metre line. Ballin for Kite. And that rattled him up a little bit, that tackle from Pettybourne. Andrew John sideline, a comment?
Yeah, Glenn Stewart was under an injury cloud coming into this game as he takes a hit up there. He strained a hamstring last night at training. Manly giving him right up to warm-up, but I understand he's okay. Looks pretty free out there.
So plays at 12 metres into opposition territory, and this is Morrow. Now they're down on the 30-metre line and seemingly have got down there with a fair amount of ease as Cherry Evans puts a kick in, and West is in the field of play. Foran's got him, and then Wesser goes looking for the dirt and finding it. Very, very happy to surrender. Now McQueen playing out on the wing. Basically play anywhere, right across the park. And this is Merritt now, bringing it back just inside the 20-metre line.
Hey, just looking over the hill there as Ben Ross takes the tech outside his own 20. Still people streaming in here. It's a huge crowd.
Well, it's a game that always attracts a lot of attention, but given the position on the table that South Sydney are, it is, as you say, it's a wonderful crowd. It's a lovely day, and this rivalry between Manly and South Sydney reignited this afternoon in front of a crowd that is right up there with the best crowds Brookvale have had this year. Of course, Manly and South, their rivalry probably goes back to the hatred in the 70s when Manly bought just about half the South Sydney team. Here's Morrow on the 40-metre line playing the ball for Manly. And then Ballon goes in for King to give away, to go to Stewart, to go to Cherry Evans, to go to Ryan, and then to Williams. And Williams is taken down 9 metres into South territory. McQueen and Sutton making the tackle. Ryan at press receiver that time. And Jamie is tackled 35 metres away from the line. It's come away for young Foran. He goes very, very high. And it's battered down by Robertson. The bounce is good for Clark. South Sydney second rower. He was involved in a bit of an aerial contest. He won that, and now they get a penalty, South.
Every time.
Here's Ben Ross with the ball. Just outside the 30-metre line, and then Chris Sando away for Shannon McPherson. Sando again. First, and then away to Wesser! And Wesser's almost through. 12 metres out from the line. He plays the ball quickly. Manly player in to play the ball. It was Clark who gave it to Sando. Back to Wesser. He'll get there this time. He wasn't held. Did he ground the ball? I don't know.
Fourth tackle. Yeah, just check that ground in there, whether it touched the line or not.
You can hear the referee saying fourth tackle to put that man there, Reece Wesser, close to the line, taken by Oldfield. No, he's short. Short and loses the football.
Souths have reassembled. Souths have reassembled inside the 20-metre line, so they're not expecting to have to go back behind the halfway line. And Wesser coming up short. So here comes the official decision from Tim Mander, who's in charge today. No try. No try, knock on. Cherry Evans. That's Morrow. I think I might have seen blood coming from either a nosebleed or a wound in that area. Here's King doing well. Ballon in support. Kite tries to break through. And Manly will play the ball just inside their 40-metre line. And Ballon again away onto Foran, then to Watmough, and Watmough, well, Stewart went through. Probably a little question mark on whether there was an obstruction. Ballon got it away. That's another way to tackle from Clark, the second rower. Morrow actually came to the first of the treble in the abattoirs lane and fell over.
Well, it should have been a penalty. He gave himself up, Watmough. He knew he'd done the wrong thing. You can't run behind your teammate like that. Whether he pulls up or not, the damage is done. He knows he can't do that. That's why he pulls up. He said, sorry, sir. He's waiting for the whistle to go. And the referee somehow doesn't blow.
English is 35 out from his line. Now Isaac Luke, who hasn't pressed any green buttons as yet. Now there's a knock on, and it's gone all over the place, and he says, play on. And Foran comes up with the ball on the 40-metre line. South Sydney's end of the ground. Ballon gets it away to King. He's been strong, the co-captain. Loses the ball, but...
You're number 10. I called you off 3 times. You're an off
He's
marker.
penalised McPherson for being offside.
Oh, well, that's okay then, because I thought he was going to penalise for 2 in the tackle. And
Yeah.
he just lost that goal. This man, Jason King, as he takes it forward, he's got an offload in him, Jason King. And it's a dangerous proposition when he hits it forward.
So Manly with a good chance. They're in the middle of the ground. They're 10 metres away. Stewart to Williams, and there it is. First try of the day to David Williams. Stewart to Williams. 9 minutes gone, 4-0 the home side.
Not the first time this afternoon we've seen beautiful hands down that right side involving Glenn Stewart. Jamie Lyon starts with Daly Cherry Evans to Glenn Stewart. The second man play to Brett, and David Williams, who is in really good form at the moment, is at his finishing best. Now that he's shaken off these injuries, he didn't have to do a whole lot here because it was all done on the inside.
I love the mascots.
Yeah, I know you do.
We should have about 10 at every ground. The kids love them.
Yes, they do. We'll get one of our major cameras to take a shot of some of these trees behind the hill and see if we can find some birds up there, and then give you a quick examination. Here's Jamie Lyon. The kick has got enough volume about it, but it's wide.
Conversion unsuccessful to Manly Sea Eagles and number 3, Jamie Lyon.
12 metres out from the Manly line. So Ballon for Kite, and Kite, he pretty much only knows one way, Brent, and that's straight ahead, full rudder. And this is Morrow, 22 metres out from his own line. And so here's Anthony Watmo now. These Manly players, they were good on Wednesday night. I'm talking with Stewart and Watmo. Played by Ballon, and then Brett Stewart across for Cherry Evans to kick. And his kick is going down to McQueen. And he's another of these kids that probably playing out of position. In fact, most definitely out of position. And doing his damnedest to get the job done for his coach. Here's Inglis now.
I mentioned Glenn Stewart going the 80 minutes. Watmo 44, just over half a game, and the man playing the football now, Greg Inglis. He was just about the best on the field.
I don't know whether Glenn Stewart's going to be with us for too much longer. He's hobbling. I don't know whether it's the hamstring or an ankle, but I just caught a flash of him hobbling back into position. 4-0 in favour of the Eagles. Joey, just keep an eye on him for me, would you please, mate? It's down to Sando, and Sando across for Farrell. Farrell pulled down 32 metres out from the line, and 5 tackles gone against the red and greens from Redfern. Sando goes high, plenty of hang time, the ball allowed to bounce, it's in the in goal, and Brett Stewart eventually has to bat it away. Line drop out.
The wind's a real weapon today.
Coming down the ground from left to right.
I was talking to Des Hasler before the game about it, and he was very disappointed it was like this, because he said it's a great leveller, the wind. He thought that...
Oh, gee, head clash here, Foran and Watmo.
That was friendly fire. They just belted each other.
Michael Crocker is 25 away from the line. Here's John Sutton, and there's Eddie Pettybourne. Just trying to catch a glimpse of Watmo and Foran to see if there's any blood about, because they had quite a head clash. Here's Sutton, inside ball, Ben Ross.
The camera there just showed the shot of some blood over the left eye of Anthony Watmo, but he's in the defensive line as Sutton goes to the 10.
And now Sando, he let Luke go. He's got the ball to Farrell. Farrell away to Merritt. Merritt scores. Nathan Merritt has scored. Something he does a lot of against all comers, but he's got a good record against Manly from memory.
He'll be over the sideline here as he scores. The front-on shot shows it perfectly with Michael Robertson coming across. His feet stay in. Has he lost it? The body is fine. His positioning is fine. As to whether he's lost the football here as he's about to put it down.
It looked like a little bobble, didn't it? It looked like he's dropped it.
It looks worse this way.
Yeah, let's have a little look here. His hand comes there.
I think he's got fingers on it. He's got fingers on it. There's no separation, fingertips and ball.
I think the second time. I reckon.
What do you think the replay has changed?
I think he's bobbled it.
Well, here we go. We'll see whether you're right again. You normally are.
I'm right. I don't know if the video referee's
try.
right.
You're wrong again. Benefit of the doubt try to Nathan Merritt.
I'm not giving up. I thought he bobbled it.
How do you spell bobble?
V-O-double-V-L-E, bobble.
So we're going to BAU, aren't we?
I did really well, and he had to wait for the ball too. The standing start and then sprint and dive the way he did was terrific. He just bobbled it, that's all.
So there's the kick from the sideline from Sando. It's away, it's wide, so 4-all is the score. And a comment from Andrew on the sideline.
Yeah, I don't think it'll be the last time South Sydney attack Manly's left side. You see the shift here. You watch Michael Oldfield here outside for him. He comes in and makes a decision early. That makes Sando's decision early to throw the long ball. Michael Oldfield, he's a winger playing centres, hasn't defended alongside Kieran Foran this year. I'd say they'll attack there again.
Joey on the sideline. Restart. 111 tries in his career from Merritt and 14 against Manly. There's Joey wearing a teapot cover. Stupid looking thing it is, but as long as it's keeping his head warm.
What, the cover? Or?
No, I don't think so.
Oh, sorry, I wasn't sure.
I couldn't say Joe. Stupid, you're kidding. Now it's played by Clark, the second rower, and then it's gone across to Merritt. And he'll play the ball 45 metres away from Manly's line. There's Isaac. He's gone out into first receiver there on that occasion. He's a wonderful strike weapon. Isaac Luke, lost by Sando. West is there to clean it up, puts a kick in. Well, that was well directed, straight into the hands of Watmo, and Watmo got away from Ross, but is tied up by Sutton.
It was a really nice take from Watmo. I mean, he is a back rower. You don't normally get the ball kicked to you like that. And he really calmly takes it sort of on the half volley. Yeah, right down on his knees. Beautiful. Well done. It was like a cricket stop.
Glenn Stewart, he looks okay now. I thought it might have been the hamstring giving him the problem, but it obviously was an ankle, and he had to run it out. He's okay. Foran back now for a second man play to Brett Stewart. And Farrell's with him. 4 points all the score. Plenty of people were forecasting a big score here against South today. That still might be the case. And here's a penalty to Manly.
Give him room. No, Isaac, no, walk away.
And a bit of push and shove. Luke and Brett Stewart.
Isaac. Mate, come on. Come, mate.
The referee saying that the marker crowded him with the knees, getting in too close. Was expected to step away, and Stewart took exception to that as Anthony Watmo takes it just outside the 10.
Farrell and Clark making the tackle, then to the middle of the ground. Morrow, it's gone on to Cherry Evans. He'll play the ball daily. It's come with Kieran Foran, or in Matt Ballon, in fact, and Ballon will play the ball back to Watmo, and then it goes to Morrow, and Morrow is put down by Wessel. So Manly at 4-all with South, but they're pressing the Eagles. Here's Brett Stewart, still going, he'll score! Well, that's another way of scoring a try. He lit up as though he was going to put a basketball pass over the top of Nathan Merritt.
Because they've created something here. The cutout pass there would have seen Michael Robertson score unopposed. And there was a collision with Brett Stewart, who's got his hands up. He knows that after missing that pass there, that he still had to try and get it over the top. And Chris Sandow and Nathan Merritt, they bump each other out of the way. That's now 59 tries in, I would think, his 60th game here at Brookvale.
What's this? He's backing away from him. Now, that's an invitation to crunch someone. Instead of that, they just put their hands in the air and say touched, and he doesn't pull up, and then he goes to score the try.
Is the attempt from Jamie Lyon. 10 in from touch and 20 out. Brett Stewart, another try. And he's just got this. Jamie Lyon converts the Brett Stewart try. It's out to 10-4 in favour of the Eagles over the Rabbits. the grandstands. There's very few seats available there, and there's a healthy crowd away on the hill on the eastern side. Morrow has been rugged in the opening exchanges. Plays it back on his 20-metre line. Glenn Stewart makes 10. Takes it out to the 30-metre line now. As Ballon looks across to his halfback, but he gives it to Brent Kite, who made 8 metres. And then Ballon goes short to Watmo just in time. And Watmo looking to unload it. He does, and Ballon has got the ball. No touch from South Sydney is indicated by the referees. And then it's away off the boot of Brett Stewart, and it bounces up good for Reece Wesser. Wesser, he fell down into the tackle. Oh, geez. I'm sure he's penalised for him for a high shot. But Reece looked to lose his footing and fall into the tackle.
No, he did. And despite the fact Reece Wesser stayed down and had a bit of a look, I think he would have been happy to get up and play it realistically. He knows that there was not much Kieran Foran could have done to avoid that.
A reminder that the Toyota Monster Raffle is now open. 100% of the profits of the raffle will go back to rugby league clubs. This year the Monster Raffle will include 2 Toyota Corollas, with the winners presented the keys at half-time on grand final day. For more information on the Monster Raffle, go to that website that you can see on the bottom of the screen. Here comes South Sydney again. It's Sando to Sutton, and Sutton tackled 11 metres out from the line by Glenn Stewart. Crocker across, Sando on, Luke across, it's with Clark. And Clark's got his arm free. Is he going to give it? He does. Farrell's away from one. Farrell comes to Foran. He's put down with the line, as you can see there. Only 3 metres away. Merritt fires it. Sando goes long. Sutton runs into it beautifully. And Sutton then is hit by a barrage of Manly defenders. Ball played on the last. Luke puts a kick in. It'll be too deep. That's a sad ending, really. Replacements coming on, Joe Nullival and Shane Rodney. I think this is his first game for the season, Shane Rodney.
It is. He got hurt in the very first match playing New South Wales Cup. Shoulder problem, and kept him out all this time. He's a welcome return. There's a mistake there immediately from Manly. Isaac Luke finds supporting Pettibon.
He loses the ball. He was taken by Jamie Lyons, scooped off the ground by King, back to Brett Stewart, runs into Pettibon. And also the 14 for South, Luke Burgess, who's out there now. The elder of the Burgess brothers. Did I see him out there? Yes. That's him on camera. Played 80 games for Leeds in Super League. The eldest of, I think it's 4 brothers. And he's gone away now from Cherry Evans through Stewart to Lyon. Lyon is tackled. 7 metres his own side of halfway. Here's Glenn Stewart again to the halfway line. Joe Nullival has got a precarious hold on it. He'll play the ball after tackle by Burgess. Gone to Cherry Evans, puts a kick in. Is it too big? Yes, it is.
What tackle is it? Kick out, Brett. Got it.
Not sure what he had in mind there. The wind just did the rest. He sort of half missed it, and yep, he's missed by a long way there.
Yeah, the last few kicks haven't been that good. Brett Stewart out of dummy half kicked on one occasion and didn't pick up much ground. It was a pretty easy take for Reece Wesser, so they're looking to improve that as Michael Crocker spins a couple of times, gets to the halfway.
Right in the centre of the ground, the skipper, for the 7th time today. He has, as I said, a record of 3 wins and 3 losses, played over there by Pettibon. This is McPherson, and he's been able to shrug away from a couple of tackles, including Joe Nullival.
He's been really good in the opening 25 minutes as they're playing the football. McPherson.
Luke on the blind side. Sutton called for the ball. It went to Inglis, who haven't been able to find him very much. I'm surprised he's had any more than a couple of handles. Now it's gone high off the boot of Sutton. And getting up there was Sando, but he took off before acceptances, and Stewart's got the ball.
He was back down on the ground before the ball got to Brett Stewart.
There he is, the flyer from Sherborne. Up he goes, down he comes. Here's the ball now.
Well, he needs glasses.
Glenn Stewart. Good stuff. He's done some nice touches today. Watmo for Big George. George is on. Here's the Rose in full bloom.
He was skirting wide there, Big George, wasn't he? Out in the centres.
Watmo tries to bust them on the edge of the ruck. He's up the halfway line now. Ballon, Cherry Evans. Oh, charge down. Oh. Where did that get him? It's knocked him around a bit, the 15 for the Rabbits. David Tyrrell.
This could be a huge falcon. Comes through to put pressure on the kicker, and oh, that's got to hurt.
Just what you need on a cold, windy day. A ball right in the smush. Look at that. Oh!
That's a golden falcon.
You're unconscious, so they pour water all over your nostrils and your mouth and you drown. Now, penalty goes to Manly again. What's the penalty count now, Pete?
Penalty count is 4-2 to the Seagulls. That one going against Ben Lowe, who was playing his first game since round one when he broke a foot.
On impact, so they've got to hit it straight away. Yeah, he did go back, but it's got to be on impact.
So Oldfield takes the tap. Foran passes to Nullival. We've got just over 13 minutes of the first half remaining. 10-4 the score in favour of the Rabbits. Glenn Stewart's been best on ground for me. He's been really dangerous down that right side. George Rose shouldering up to the 10-metre line. He'll play the ball back for Ballon, then Foran across. Brett Stewart's in again. Brett Stewart's taken down. So close to the line there. The tackle being made by Lowe. Here's Foran stepping. The pass is suspect. Watmo is short. And it plays it. That's a penalty to Manly. It's against the marker for interfering with the man playing the ball. That referee is Ashley Klein.
Well, that's a shame for South Sydney. They'd done the hard work. They fired Manly on 2 occasions when they looked certain to score. And that was very late in the tackle count. May have been the last. Here we go again.
And it's gone away to Nullival. He'll play the ball a few metres out from the line. So here's Ballon. Right side, Cherry Evans. Second man, Brett Stewart is there on the inside. Glenn Stewart looking to get it away, and he does eventually. Rhodes went down, got up again. Cherry Evans, Jamie Lyon, David Williams, and he's forced down. Stays in the field of play. Good work, McQueen over there. Cherry Evans, and here's Rose again. Rose will play the ball. 9 away. 28 minutes gone. Cherry Evans away for Jamie Lyon. Catch pass. David Williams trying to crawl across the line. Again, he plays the ball in that corner. As it comes out to Cherry Evans, he decides to dummy and go. Passes eventually. Here's Foran coming across the big ball. Out to Oldfield. There's a try coming for Manly. And Oldfield it is that scores.
Well, they kept persisting, Manly, on the back of 2 penalties. They looked like they would score here to the left. It didn't happen. They went over to the right. Jamie Lyon and David Williams combining on a couple of occasions. Great work from McQueen to get up quickly, and then like John Sutton was able to help. But eventually, Daly Cherry Evans throws the one out the back. They skirt wide. That was the key ball that put Michael Oldfield outside Chris Sando. Merritt staying with his man. And Oldfield, who he's regarded as a real speedster in the Manly camp.
Just allowed to jog across the field at half pace without the defence coming forward and making a decision. And then when the long pass comes, Nathan Merritt is back minding the corner post, and they're just all out of position. Terrible defence.
Jamie Lyon converting the Michael Oldfield try. And Manly leads South 16-4. I think that has touched the line on the full.
Go over there, actually, I'm not looking to
Or has it not?
Goal line.
That's a goal line dropout.
We've got 2 blokes. No.
The Manly before the line.
The Manly players want him to check, but he's saying, no, I don't have to. I've got 2 touch judges who have given their decision. No need to go up top.
No. I've made a decision, Jamie. We're going, and you guys are running out of time.
Stewart, Williams,
On or behind,
line.
you're running out of time. Call time out.
Well, that looks like it lands on the chalk.
I know, well, so does Brett Stewart and so does David Williams. But the referee said, I'm not going upstairs. I've got 2 touch judges and they're doing a fine job. Then I think somebody said to the referee, there's a mark on the line. He said, we'll have to fix it up tomorrow.
it's not going back early.
Exactly right. Brett Suttle is the man cracking jokes. Well done, Brett.
Reese Wesser leaving the field, Ray. There's
Clark goes
second
back.
rower comes on, so Nathan Merritt goes to fullback. Isaac Luke goes out of dummy half.
So 16-4 with 8 minutes of the first half to go. And here's Sutton trying to bust through, but Stewart closes the gap. 10 metres away from the line. Merritt, Sando, he got under Stewart, he passed from the ground, he wasn't tackled. Sutton puts it across high, Farrell goes up, came off Robertson's boot, came down to Luke, chance here, Luke, very short.
Again.
Metre or so, but it's 6 more tackles, lower dummy half. Now the ball to Clark. Jason Clark coming on as a replacement again, and now it's gone away to Sando, then to Sutton, and Sutton puts a big fend up on the face of Cherry Evans. He got away from Jamie Lyon, and he's tackled by Glenn Stewart and Cherry Evans eventually. There's the line, 5 metres away. It's come on now, Burgess. Burgess is struggling for the line. In fact, it was Terrell. Had the ball taken. Watmore's with the ball. Line. Now Williams. Back on their own 20-metre line. Glenn Stewart. And wrestled down by David Tyrrell, the 15, who took that heavy knock and a charge down. Michael Robertson is through. Michael Robertson over halfway, and he's cut down in a good tackle by Nathan Merritt.
Yeah, set move there. Great little short ball from Anthony Watmoe as a quick play the ball. Oh, that's...
Nullarbor fending away. Pettybourne getting it on to Jamie Lyon. Here's another. Oh, David Williams has put it down. He really was only going to have Nathan Merritt to contend with.
Can't believe that, can you? When you're a winger, that's all you wait for is the ball with free territory in front of you. Lovely play up the middle of the field to make the initial break. Stewart was learning up, and now they'll get him outside his man comfortably. He just lived for this moment as a winger. And the Wolfman puts it down.
Yeah, he was howling, wasn't he? He's still going off. I credited Anthony Watmoe with a pass that should have gone to George Rose. I think he was the man that came up with a deft little touch in the centre of the ruck.
Scrum win to South Sydney. Greg Inglis, who was absolutely brilliant on Wednesday night for Queensland. Plays the ball in the middle of the ground, down on their own 30-metre line. That's Ben Lowe with the ball. Don't forget top design with Jamie Jury starts Wednesday at 8 o'clock. Here's Sando sprinting up to the halfway line. A 6-by-2-metre shipping container. Turn it into a 3-room home. How, I don't know. See the dazzling transformations in Jamie Jury's new top design Wednesday. 8 o'clock following the block. And here's a ball back now for Inglis. And Inglis down inside the 20-metre line, down on one knee, got up again. Will play the ball 12 metres out from the line. Glenn Stewart again making the tackle. So here's Sutton now. End-on-end kick. It'll go dead. Oh, no, it's right back by Merritt. It's a try. This will be a try for South Sydney, and I think the try scorer is, well, who is it? Clark, I think.
That's impossible.
Is it Clark or Tyrrell?
No way he gets this back, Rebels.
I think he does.
How?
He rakes it back, a bit like the centenary test at the cricket ground with Gasnier and Inglis.
No.
Who's the try scorer? Jason Clark, Pete? If it's a try?
I think so. He's the man coming in closest on that side. Shadow's a bit of a... This will be the one. So
He's nearly in the grandstand.
He's in mid-air.
No, I think his foot's hit the ground.
Is his foot on the ground?
I think so.
I can't believe he's done as well as he has. Look at that.
Yeah.
The pitch is a bit dark for mine. I can't tell.
I think the benefit of the doubt there, if there is any, goes to the Manly team. I think his foot's on the ground, but a great effort from all concerned.
Well, he's with you, Rabbits. You called it straight away.
I'll turn it.
Eagle Eyes Rabbits.
Turn it on.
He said that's a try.
Yeah, and you said it's not.
Try.
There it is there in green. Look at it. T-R-Y. Try. Benefit of the doubt. And it's gone to Jason Clark. We've finally identified the try scorer. Brilliant piece of work by Nathan Merritt.
No.
The Manly fans in
when
front
he touched
of me.
the ball, his foot, he was over the dead ball line.
Listen to this. Listen to this.
He was over the dead ball line, but he hadn't touched outside the dead ball line, so it's still effectively in.
His foot was down.
No, we didn't think that. All right.
No, he left the area, the in-goal area. The referee has decided he hadn't come to ground outside that area and had raked it back into the field of play. The crowd are giving it to the video referee. I'm talking about in spades. Sando, and now it's bounced away.
Sorry.
So 16-8 is the score. There's the try scorer. He said, you can boo all you like. I've got 4 points alongside my name. Andrew John, sideline.
Seems like these players are pushing the limits every time they go out in the field. How to find a new way to score a try. Some of these outside backs, they never give up on the play. For all money, that was never going to be a try. Sensational.
There'll be doubts, I'm sure, linger for quite some time. But Tim Mander made the decision and gave benefit of the doubt to the attacking team. That is Burgess.
Yeah, I've got my doubts, but it'll be in the paper tomorrow.
That's right.
No doubt.
That's right.
And that's a bad miss from Chris Sando, who's got a great percentage. He's at almost 90%. That was a relatively comfortable conversion. I know the wind is a problem here today, but they would like to have been within a converted try at the break.
Nathan Peets is with the ball now. Almost to the halfway line. Luke sweeping it away to the 15. David Tyrrell. And they're almost to the 40-metre line. Sutton, with his breeze, not frightened to put the big bombs up. The ball allowed to bounce, and it bounces into touch. 3 minutes of the game remaining in the first half.
As I said earlier, I think you'll see a lot of that today. Just letting the ball bounce and taking pot luck of where it goes. No one wants to run in and catch it with this breeze swirling around the way it is. It's been an interesting first half. South Sydney have had their flashes of brilliance. Manly look in control. It's the South Sydney defence that is going to decide this result. It's just not good enough, you would think, to get them a win, but if they can brush up a little bit there with the tackling, then I think they've got the points in them to cause Manly some trouble.
What's the story with Reece Wesser, Andrew? Can you help him?
Yeah, he's got some cartilage damage in his knee. He's highly unlikely to come out. They're going to reassess him at half-time, but at this stage, he won't be back. And Manly's Jason King. He's done a hamstring, and likewise, they'll assess him at half-time. But he's in doubt. He's icing it up there, so surely he won't be back.
And with Reece Wesser out of this game for the moment, Ben Lowe is playing right centre, and he'll have to make a tackle here on Shane Rodney. No, in fact, John Sutton from the inside.
So Rodney plays the ball, falling blind side, short to Oldfield, running off his left hip. And the referee
He's back here.
ordering turnover. Played by Clark. That is Farrell with the ball on the 30-metre line. Friday night, Warriors up against the Bulldogs in Auckland. Friday night football for New South Wales viewers at 7:30. Broncos play Titans at 7:30 in Queensland at Suncorp.
She was cold in New Zealand Friday night, boys.
Yeah, I was feeling for you. I really was.
No, you weren't. You couldn't have cared less.
There's Sando. Isaac Luke, I should say. And Isaac looks back for support. And eventually Rodney puts him to ground. Played down on the 20-metre line. Sutton quickly onto Sando. Left foot. Then he shapes to pass to Merritt. Sweeps it back the other way to Pettybourne. Got the ball down to John Sutton. Ball goes to Greg Inglis. Here comes the big kick across the ground. He's going to look for Farrell. Up they go, and Oldfield bats it over the dead ball line.
Stay there, mate.
Line drop out for Manly again.
I don't know why he didn't catch that. He got both hands to it to bat it dead. And he was a long way from the dead ball line when he did it. I mean, if you got both hands there, why not catch it? Anyway.
Well, by doing that, with only 30 seconds left on the clock, they may not get to the restart unless the referee hurries them up. And if they do, only be one play. What are we at? 57, 50. He can't go any slower, Daly. There we go. Well done.
So he was allowed 40 seconds, of course, from the time it was declared over the line and the sound of the whistle. 16-8 at half-time. Manly over South Sydney, 3 tries to 2, and still the fans in front of me in the grandstand have got all eyes directed on Tim Mander for the try he gave to Jason Clark and Nathan Miller. Second half is underway. Manly leading 16 points to 8. That is Tyrrell bringing it back. 15 out from his own line. And that is Burgess. Those of you that may have just joined us, Sam Burgess, his eldest brother, playing with Souths today. Luke playing it back on his 20. That's Peets with the ball. Nathan Peets and Sando. It's caught the markers not square. That's the ruling.
Yeah, he did really well there, Chris Sando. Saw Joe Nullavow not get back square. Just out of the corner of his eye, and he took off and got his side the penalty.
Cheeky look on his face of Sando. I got him. I got him.
Feels like a book.
Well, here's David Tyrrell again. Big, strong thing. Rugged. This is Clark. Taken by Nullavow. George Rose over the top. Holding the player down as long as he could. Sando going to Sutton. Sutton getting it back to Pettybourne. South Sydney are 25 metres out from the line with a chance early second half. Sando dummied him, and he goes on to David Tyrrell. 18 metres out. 2 tackles to go. Sando dummies behind Peets, and the ball has gone into no man's land. Inglis picks it up, and he's picked up a defender in Williams. Williams puts him to ground eventually. So from Merritt, it's gone back to Sando, who kicks across the ground. There's a jump on that's come to ground. Souths have got the ball. He might restart the tackle count. He does. Souths then 10 metres out from the line. Not even that with Clark. 16-8. Third minute of the second half. Sando steps up his left foot and takes on Nullavow. He beats him. Played and spun away by Luke. Here's Sutton now. Steps left foot. He'll score. Sutton. John Sutton looks to have got the ball down. They point to the spot. Sutton has scored for South Sydney. 16-12 becomes the score.
Yeah, that was soft from the Seagulls. From the inside, they made a decision for John Sutton to straighten. Left foot step. He saw that they weren't coming out very quickly with the same intensity up in the middle there. Joe Nullavow back on his heels. He slips. George Rose gets fended off. He carries Stewart. And that's a great way for South Sydney, who had to be the next scorer in this game, to start the second half.
He's looked likely a couple of times today, John Sutton. He's sort of half strode into space a couple of occasions. Got a good offload away here and there. He's a strange player to read at times. You're not quite sure of his body language, whether he's in or out, but he looks to be in today.
This is going to bring South within 2 points. It's 16-14 with the flags in the air. Andrew Johns on the sideline.
They got a special guest, Sam Burgess. Sam, what was said at half time?
Not much really. John was quite pleased with the first half performance. If we can control the penalties that we're giving away there, then we'll be in a better position. But the boys are happy, and I think they've got a chance today.
And big brother Luke, how's he finding the NRL?
Yeah, he's finding it all right. Today's not as fast as last week, he said. You can see him out there with his white legs, but he's certainly enjoying it, and he's playing all right. Just found a nice offload there, so looking forward to seeing how they go in the second half.
Go and stay warm.
Yeah, I will, mate, I will. Cheers.
It's Pete's. What did he say?
Well, that's the most I've ever understood. I thought he was good then. I really did. I understood every word.
Here's Pettybourne.
Normally, I don't understand any of it.
No, I'm only joking. I love Sam Burgess. He's good for the game.
I think he's going really well. Big brother out there too. Luke, he has got away a couple of little offloads or got in a position to do so. And tough initiation last week against Cronulla. As Isaac Luke has a bit of scouting, taken heavily by Glenn Stewart on the last.
These two teams up at Gosford when they played in round 4. Here's Sutton putting a kick down into the corner. Now it's only as good as the chase. Stewart's in goal. Inglis is after him. Couldn't get him, and Stewart got it out to the 10. It could have been a better chase, I really think. The kick was good down into the corner. Nice weight.
Well, I said in the first half, Rabbit, that if South Sydney could just get their defence in order, they'll be in this game because they've got some points in them by the look of them. And Manly have got to get the thinking hats on because they've just dropped back into a little bit of a malaise. I think they've assumed that everything was under control, and it's not yet.
There's Watmo running a line straight up the middle. Then it got back to Cherry Evans. Cherry Evans away from Sutton. Comes to Inglis, and Sutton again beats them both. Goes back to Pettybourne, and that's where he's put down. 10 metres into South Territory. Ballon for Foran. And Foran's kick down into the corner. Sun in the eyes of Farrell. Dylan Farrell gets it back though. 15 away from his line. I was going to make the point that at Gosford there was only 2 points in the game at the finish. South winning by 2. And 3 tries they let in South in the last 8 minutes of that game. So their defence became a problem at the back end of that match at Gosford. Now there's 2 points in this game. Chris McQueen making that run before this fellow Tyrrell takes it to halfway. Met by Watmo and Ballon. Given by Luke. Gone to Sando. Short ball away. It's gone from low. It's gone on to Farrell. The kick is gone. Did he play at the ball?
Yeah, he did.
Yes, he did.
Pass it down.
Referee has ruled that Manly played at the ball.
If he doesn't put his hands up, it goes over the top of it, blocks the path of the ball.
He said by putting his hands up, he's actually played at the ball. If he doesn't put his hands up, it goes over his head, and there's no drama.
Well, of course he's played at it. I don't know what Manly are blowing up.
The Oldfield it was who put those arms in the air. This is Isaac Luke. He'll play the ball 22 metres out from the line. This is Farrell. And Farrell to play it. That line in front of him. The 10-metre line. Sando. This is Burgess in 14. Luke Burgess. And a penalty goes to Souths.
Pushing down on the arm.
It's against the Manly defender for continuing to push down and not allowing the man up to play the ball. They're going to take the kick.
Well, it came from the sideline, the call. In fact, the trainer, Willie Peters, ran out over the sideline with the 2 fingers in the air, saying that's what John Lang wanted. Go back to that conversion. I know that there's no such thing as an easy conversion. As we see the penalty, why it was awarded. But Chris Sando, by his standards, would have been extremely disappointed that he didn't get that one before half-time. And
reminded the entire event so far. Sando it is, picks up the penalty, so 16 all. That's the scoreboard. There's Hosler watching on. Cherry Evans with the restart for Manly. And 16-4 has suddenly become 16 all. And the contest is really on. The other game today saw the Roosters beat the Panthers 34-26. Roosters 34, Panthers 26. It's Pettybourne with the ball on the 30-metre line. Luke a dummy half. He passes to Peets, and Peets is taken to ground. Just inside the 40-metre line, south end of the ground. And here's Luke out from dummy half, no markers. Here's Greg Inglis. Inglis has got through. Inglis is inside the 30. Got it to Nathan Merritt. Merritt's going for the line. He'll score. Nathan Merritt gets the try. His second of the day. And the South Sydney fans, the contingent not big in this big crowd. Time to celebrate because they are the leaders now.
Well, they haven't come out in the second half, Manly. 10 minutes, and South Sydney taking advantage of the one marker there with Isaac Luke getting out and Greg Inglis. What footwork for a big man. He beats Glenn Stewart and George Rose. Attracts the fullback and Nathan Merritt. You know, you can make a break on any part of the field if you're a South Sydney player, and you know that when you turn, invariably it will be Nathan Merritt in support. That's why he gets so many tries. He puts himself in the right position. And Greg Inglis, what a great job to open up that hole.
They led 16-4, Manly, but for mine were never at any time convincing. They've really taken South Sydney lightly here. Now they find themselves 4 behind, probably 6. Bingo.
It's officially 6 now. Andrew John sideline.
Yeah, South Sydney got to get more ball. The best strike player in the game. Have a look at this. Right foot, bang, does Georgie Rose. Bang, left foot, beats him in a telephone booth. Head down, gets in the clear. Then it's got the skill. Look at this. Bang, right foot. Beats him in a telephone booth. No room at all. Head down, accelerates. Then positions Nathan Merritt beautifully. What a player. More quality ball to him, please.
On the carry back is Luke Burgess, playing it on the 20-metre line. South Sydney leading now by 6.
And there you can see all the possession in their favour. Less than a minute for the Eagles, and that score that we just showed you with Penrith getting beaten today, that makes this opportunity even bigger for the South Sydney teams. The South Sydney team. 3 of the 4 sides on 18 points coming into this weekend have been beaten. The Tigers, the Bulldogs, and Penrith. And with the win today, South can join them.
Isaac Luke. Sando. Right foot snap down into the corner, and it'll find the line. The South's just sucking them in.
Good effort now.
Winding down the clock, taking their time. And Manly about to bring Brent Kite back into the game. Scrum 10 metres out from the line. Manly loose head and feed. Obviously, they're now 90 metres away from the try line that they desperately need to find again.
Who lifts Manly, Peter? It's hard sometimes when you hold a good lead and then the other side goes straight past you, and you know that you've handed it a lot to them. Who lifts them here?
I just think they've got to knuckle down. They obviously need some football because they've had none in this opening 10 minutes, but I think it just comes back to their leaders, men like Glenn Stewart, Jamie Lyon, the 2 halves, Brett Stewart at the back. But it's all got to come from getting some momentum in the middle of the ruck. We need Manly going forward here. That's why Brett Kite's about to come back into the game and just establish something for those key players to work off.
Played by Nullivar. And here's Kite. Wrestled down on the halfway line by Pettybourne and Tyrrell. And now for Kieran Foran. And that's gone straight down to Dylan Farrell on the far side of the ground.
Well, he's being helped off Joe Nullivar. He's in Neverland.
Charge up the middle then from Ben Lowe.
Well, I'm really watching for Kieran Foran. A couple of times earlier this season, Manly were in trouble, and he was the one that lifted them with some bruising defence and his ball playing on the edges of the ruck. Been a bit quiet today for mine.
It's Burgess. Tipped upside down on the halfway line. And to the right side for South to kick off the right foot of Sando, and he's got it screwing away. And it finds the line again, 8 metres out from the Manly line.
Well, he's got it on a string, hasn't he? What's the way he puts spin on this ball and gets it to cut away towards the sideline? From the moment he got the ball, he decided he wanted to find touch. He'll kick it, gets that little bit of spin on it, and it'll just curl, hits the ground, takes a right-hand turn, and scurries away towards the touchline. Brilliant stuff.
He's imparting a slice to it. Andrew picked him out in slow motion a few weeks ago, and it's quite an intentional kick.
Well, if you're looking to play field position, their last two have been absolutely top draw. Brown touchdown in that corner, both occasions. Morrow tackled 25 out. Haven't been out of their own half run.
Crowd, Peter, just under 20,000. That's a very, very good crowd. I know I've said it before, but I'm tickled pink when Sunday football particularly draws a big crowd. See, the man and his wife and kids, they don't mind coming out in a sunny afternoon. They're not threatened as much in daylight hours as they are at night time.
Well, this is their biggest home crowd here this year as Daly Cherry Evans comes up with a nice strike. It'll go dead. He's under pressure to get one away.
I've been saying it for 10 years, Roberts.
Oh, well, so have I. But I mean,
Sunday football.
All I can do is endorse it to say I think we've gone away from the thing that the man and his wife don't mind doing. Going out at night time these days with the kids, it can be a threatening affair. Going out at night time. Daylight, not so bad. I think we've turned our back on this 3 o'clock football on a Sunday. There should be more matches on a Sunday at 3 o'clock. Maybe I shouldn't be saying that because I'm in television.
That's Burgess again.
It is Burgess again.
Getting some minutes and some quality about them.
Here's Clark. 22-16, South Sydney coming from 16-4 down. And here is Sutton, big fellow that plays with 6 on his back. He's a very talented player. Probably one of those that I classify as not quite knowing how important the part is that he can play. You feel them around and he's one of them. Play by Kite. Rodney's got the ball. I think Frank Pritchard's another one that fits into the same category. There's Oldfield with the ball. Probably to a lesser extent, Jared Hayne. Cherry Evans. Now Mora. 35 metres out from the South Sydney line. Play back for Ballard. Now for forward. Step, and then the gap is closed. Luke and Pettiball. A couple of these Souths players looking a bit tired now. As Manly start to get a bit more ball. Cherry Evans high. JD Lyons went up for the back. But Merritt's come down with it in the field of play.
Interesting replacement here, Rabbits. Jamie Buer has come onto the field. And just talking about Kieran Foran maybe lifting Manly, he'll look up and see Jamie Buer coming and have a smile on his face. They've got a good combination, those two, on the left-hand side.
So that is low in 16. Buer taking the place of Shane Rodney. Isaac Luke, he's lost the ball. Manly come up. With the aces now, Inglis has got Cherry Evans on the ground. Not letting him up too early. Played and Ballon goes over to Kite, and Kite is taken 20 metres out from the line. Tipped upside down by mainly Nathan Peach. Now it's out to Glenn Stewart. He wreaks havoc early in the game. Jamie Lyon, Cherry Evans. He got it away. Ballon spins it wide. Foran is with the ball. Foran tries to go through himself. He does go through. Yep. Foran has scored for Manly. So 4 tries, plays 4 tries now.
And on the back of great defence, they kept the South Sydney team in their last set down on their line. They forced a mistake. Jamie Buer out of marker, swung Isaac Luke around. That forced the ball loose. And Daly Cherry Evans, he featured prominently. Inside pass from Glenn Stewart to Jamie Lyon. Looked like it was going to break down here with Cherry Evans' claim, but he pops it out the back to Matt Ballon. And with the South Sydney defence sliding and going backwards, Kieran Foran goes around Ben Lowe and over the top of Chris Sando to give his team a chance to wrap it up 22-all with this conversion.
Oh, he's a good one. He's a real good player. He's probably looking a little worse for wear after, I mean, we've had nearly 18 rounds now, I suppose we're up to. But by the same token, when he gets the ball in his hands, he believes he can make things happen. He imposes his will on the game. He has the self-confidence to think that he can change a result. We've seen him do it before. He's got the opportunity there, and he's nailed it. That's what makes him such a wonderful player. Just needs Jamie Lyon to add the icing on the cake here.
Lyon, and it's hit the uprights and bounced away. No goal. It's 22-20 in favour of South Sydney. Nearly 20,000 people here today as Chris Sando prepares to get us going again, with his team leading by 2 after they trailed by 12. And the ball is brought back by Morrow and then delivered down to Kite and gone to Oldfield, and Oldfield is held out there by Dylan Farrell in the main, together with Ben Lowe. Here's Morrow again. Well, he is in the game, Morrow. He certainly imposes himself on the game, I've got to say that. Here's Glenn Stewart. He's fended away from Sutton. Got a ball back for Jamie Lyon. Jamie Lyon runs around behind Brent Kite, but there's no obstruction. Lyon plays the ball. Now Watmo straightens it up, loses the ball. It's a penalty to Manly.
You're all over the ball. You brought it out.
Yeah, Nathan Peach said he played at the football, but you know, he's turning to pass. The ball carrier, Anthony Watmo. Peach just comes in, he tries to make the tackle, and out it comes. Poor ball security, but a penalty.
Falling away. Watmo again. Isaac Luke with a half shoulder charge, half tackle. Manly again, looking for the leadership again. Glenn Stewart. And then it's with Buren. They've stacked the blind side, and here they go to Foran, and Foran for the line again. I think he's got another try. Sator, the referee, is saying that was unsighted. It's got a remarkable resemblance to his previous effort.
Well, his teammates believe that he has scored. Kieran's not giving much away. He's a pretty unflappable character. A bit of a shake there of the head in the affirmative. But again, they back off, tempting him to run, and we know he scored. He puts his body on the line. We've seen it so often defensively. But he does so with the football. Sam Tagatese nearly cut him in half on 2 occasions against the Titans, but he'll cop that if the benefit is for his football team, and he's done so again there.
That's a try. It's a try for your life. And on the previous play of the ball, I want to tell you about the dominance of Kieran Foran, the way he sets himself up for this play. This is a try for all your life. But on the previous play, Glenn Stewart comes from the right-hand side of the field to left to dump a ball off to Jamie Buren. Now, Glenn Stewart looks to head off back to his own position on the other side of the field, and Kieran Foran says, come here. There's Stewart. Stewart will offload. He gets up, and he went to come back this way. And Kieran Foran says, get outside me, get back there. And he made him make the run. He made him make the run, hold the defence off him, and go. Now, that's the dominance of a young playmaker and the response of a senior player that says, yeah, this kid knows what he's doing. Glenn Stewart was about to toddle off back to his position, and Kieran Foran said, no, stay here with me. My ball, come with me, dummy, try. Now they're in front.
5 tries to 4. Manly gave up a good lead and now back in front, leading by 2, and he's missed it again. So 24-22, Andrew John, sideline.
Gus spoke about the presence of Glenn Stewart on the outside. I'm going to talk about the presence of Brett Stewart on the inside of Kieran Foran. That's why they were holding. You see Brett Stewart in the number 1 jersey. He comes late from the other side of the ruck. That holds the markers up. That enables him to get over the advantage line. You give a player like Kieran Foran room, he turns from a 5'8" into a back rower. What a player.
South with the restart. Oh, Glenn Stewart marked that on the full. I think if he had realised where he was in relation to the sideline, he would have been letting it go.
Yeah, but he wasn't taking any chances, and he could take a good catch on the football in the end as Moray picked up. They've got no one to blame but themselves, South Sydney, for losing the lead in this last 5 minutes, but I hate the stripping rule.
I know you do, and most of us do the way it is. Here's Buehler. Of course, under my suggestion, there could be no strip in a two-man tackle. I'd make it the same as a one-man, quite legal. When you get the three in the tackle, then you start talking about stripping intentionally, and that's where it was born. That was the embryo of it. And there's the kick down the ground, finding the touch in goal. Underbelly razor. Conjures up a lot of thoughts, doesn't it? Underbelly razor. They were after fame, fortune and power. Underbelly razor is coming soon to Channel 9.
Looks good. Would you like to have lived back then, Rabbits?
No.
No?
No.
You happy with your lot?
Well, I've got to tell you, I'm concerned about the way things are going these days. Yeah, that worries me, but no, this wasn't a time to be around. But we're starting to lose control again, I'm afraid. Here's Peets. 8 metres on his side of half. The funny thing about it, Gus, they call them the good old days.
Yeah.
Good old days.
I'm happy in the era that I lived, but it'd be interesting to go back there and see what it was like. Very different time.
Sando kicking down the ground. It's rolling down, down, down and away.
Well, they've got to the right end of the field, South Sydney. You look up at the scoreboard, and there is a stack of time. There are only 2 points in it, which was the margin, as we pointed out, in round 4. But the momentum has swung definitely to the home team as Robertson gets out of dummy half. The momentum and the lead.
Back in your era, of course, Penguins look like seagulls. Here's Kite playing the ball. Now Watmoe. Now Cherry Evans. Cherry Evans back for Watmoe. Watmoe tries to circle the Indians with the cavalry. Here's Buehler. The wagons, maybe. Here's Foran. Long ball. Glenn Stewart. Been good. Sutton's had one go at it. Has another nab at it. Gets a flick pass away. Jamie Lyon is underneath the tackle there. Well, a lot of movement there, but not going anywhere. And now the kick from Cherry Evans is big. Down to Merritt. And Merritt gets away from Foran. Goes straight ahead. Jamie Lyon and Cherry Evans making the tackle. Out to the 30-metre line comes McQueen. 24-22 Manly.
I won't be satisfied that Manly are home until they start making a statement in defence. Now, when they're at their top, they start to gang tackle and belt sides and force the ball loose with turnovers. They're still not coming forward with the same aggression that I would like at the moment. Although there's a shot.
That's forward from Isaac Wood.
See Glenn Stewart there, what Glenn Stewart did? That's the Manly that I really love, where they come forward and make a statement with big hits and shoulder charges and really try to shake the ball loose. He'll sprint out of the line here. You watch Glenn Stewart. He's back on the line. Now he'll come. He'll rush. In he comes. Bang. He's looking for the big hit. Now that's where Manly make their statement the best, in defence. Hasn't been enough of that today. It's only footy, John.
Foran again, operating on that left side where he's basically taken control of the game in the last 10 minutes. Rose inside the 30-metre line. Ballon, Cherry Evans, Stewart again. Brett to Glenn. He's had a wow of a game, this man, Glenn Stewart, today. Watmoe, getting rid of a couple, stands in the third, now he's put down. 20 metres away, and they strike at the arm of Ballon. They appeal for 6 more, referee says no. 12 away from the South Sydney line. Last tackle Manly. Here is Cherry Evans, he puts the grubber in, and it's going straight over the dead ball line. Jamie Lyon trying to do somewhat of a Nathan Merritt. We'll take a break, a 2-point game. Sunday football back in a moment.
In the centre.
Back at Brookvale, it's Farrell who takes the ball from the tap kick. This is Ben Lowe. South getting one of their recognised front row forwards back today. Here's Ben Ross. And the players on the halfway line as it goes through Sando. Picks up Pettybourne. Pettybourne is pulled up. No gain. 2 points in it. 10 minutes to go. This is Shannon McPherson. And around the legs is Watmo. Up the top is Ballon. All being played back to Luke. Now to Sando. Runs. Puts a little kick in. Goes after it. But it's picked up. Oh, Robertson is picked up by Michael Crocker. And put to ground. Robertson tied up by Crocker, who will endeavour to get to his feet. David Williams will play the ball. Down outside their 20-metre line, Cherry Evans running across, looking for a gap. And eventually Ben Ross comes out of the line to put him away. So the Manly number 7 plays the ball. Burer comes away in the headgear. 30 metres out from his own line, play up the middle, taken by the captain. Ballon gives it to Kite, who goes on an inside passage, going through the middle of the ruck. Then he gets it away, out the back to Brett Stewart, on to Michael Oldfield. Oldfield is fast, he's in the space. He got the ball away to support. Robertson's away. Michael Robertson scores for Manly. Now they've put the foot right down.
Well, it started out a very poor set, but a run from Jamie Burer was backed up by a good one from Brent Kite. And after 3 pretty ordinary rucks to try and get it out of their own end. This is the Burer run, picked up 10 tough metres, and it was followed by Brent Kite going back through the play the ball, an offload at the end of it. Brett Stewart onto Oldfield, he put the foot down. He is quick, isn't he? He had Brett Stewart on his inside, but Michael Robertson unmarked on his outside. Big conversion coming up here from Jamie Lyon.
Yeah, great work by Brent Kite. And some lazy defence by the Rabbitohs again on the right-hand side. That's the part of their game that's let them down there today. The right-hand side, they're so submissive in their attitude that they give their opposition too much scope. Kieran Foran has run over them twice. Brett Stewart's run over them to score. And now they've given too much space off an offload for Oldfield to just stroll through. And as Peter pointed out, this is a big kick for Jamie Lyon out wide, because at 6 points in front with 8 to go, they're still not home. If he can slot this through the post, they get a little bit of breathing space.
And Andrew Johnson's spot on in pointing out that Ben Lowe is playing at right centre inside Dylan Farrell in that right wing, with the change that they've made with Reece Wesser out of the game, and Manly have taken full advantage when they've needed to.
Here's Jamie from the sideline. It's coming just wide again. 3 from 3, he's missed. Andrew sideline, 6-point ball game now.
Yeah, beautiful offload by Brent Kite out the back to Brett Stewart. But I like the awareness here of Michael Oldfield. He's played a bit of wing this year. He's playing centre. Watch when he gets in the clear. Look at him look around. Look at him look for his winger. Positions him perfectly. A beautiful ball. Yeah, Michael Oldfield's a good player. I think Manly's about to lengthen, boys. This could get entertaining.
Michael Robertson racked up his 200th game in first grade last weekend. That was his 82nd career try in game number 201. Next Sunday, of course, you'll have the Eagles again on television, coming from Newcastle, from Osgrid Stadium, up against the Knights. And of course, that was the last time the Eagles played Sunday afternoon football. It was against the Knights back in round 3. Penalty, oh, fisticuffs.
Easy, boys.
Easy.
Come on, out of there, out of there, out of there, out of there.
Klein's in there saying, get out of there, get out of there. Where's Ashley? Can anybody see Ashley? There he is. Ooh. Comes under the heading of intense. I don't know that it actually found the target as hard as he wanted it to, but it looked bad.
He's going to be
It's a great tackle.
Michael, let me talk. Okay, he's after the good tackle, agreed. He's come in with a swinging arm and hit him in the head. You're on record.
He came down with his chest.
Well hemmed there by the referee. It was a swing arm, a cheap shot there from Ben Lowe.
If you want to make a complaint, you can. But
Bailey Cherry Evans has kicked 2 field goals this season. They're in field goal territory, but they may believe that there is another try out there against South Sydney. But Manly here to win the game in the next set. Or the one following.
Big George. 38 metres away from the line. Cherry Evans. Glenn Stewart. He and Watmo got tangled up. Ben Ross is there to take Stewart to ground. 35 metres out from the south line. Here's Watmo. And Isaac Luke has got in, so is Lowe. 6 minutes of the match to go. And it's a 6-point ball game. Would they take one? As they go down the sideline to Bura.
Well, it's not an easy afternoon to kick them, but if they can get close, I think Cherry Evans might have a pop.
Here's George Rose. And that's come back accidentally. And Cherry Evans giving it down to Glenn Stewart.
Forward wants it.
Forward wants it, does he? No, Cherry Evans has got the ball and taken the kick, and Nathan Merritt is tackled in goal, so the next best result.
Yeah, great play.
Taken by Manly. They'll get the ball back, and then they'll probably set it up for one.
This had to be a very good kick from Daly Cherry Evans because there were South Sydney jerseys around and Nathan Merritt well positioned. The chase from Brett Stewart and Matt Ballin was excellent. And at the end of this set of 6, you might, well, a short drop out here from Chris Sando. Well taken by the halfback.
Didn't even find the 20-metre line.
Oh, that could have been a penalty.
With Watmo circling and taken by Clark. With Ballin driving it back to the middle. 5 metres out from the South Sydney line. Tackler Ben Ross, he was there too long. Well, they'll just call Jamie Lyon up now, you would imagine. Take the 2 and take the 2 points.
Oh, that makes the field goal easy, doesn't it? He can put it on a tee and put it between the posts.
They were very fortunate, South City, not to give a penalty on a play the ball previous to that. I think it was on Cherry Evans. He was pulled back down by Shannon McPherson.
2 from 6. Jamie, he hasn't had what you would call a lot of easy kicks. Friday nights, as he puts this game beyond any doubt. With 3.5 minutes to go, 28 becomes 30. Glenn Stewart comes off. It's 30-22. Friday night, the major game in New South Wales for television viewing on 9. Is Warriors up against Bulldogs. And the major game in Queensland up there on 9. Broncos versus Titans. We're talking about the 9 Network and football. Thank you to all of those people who made last Wednesday night a record television audience for Origin right across the country and right around the world. But here in Australia was the biggest audience ever. So thank you to all of you that took time out to spend some time with us last Wednesday. This is Bura. I tell you what, they didn't let you down, did they? The players, the entertainers. Here's Cherry Evans, and he goes and gives it to Shane Rodney, who can't handle. Advantage is there for South to pick it up, and they bring it back to the point where they have taken the advantage.
And we saw a shot of Glenn Stewart going into the dugout there. Not much of an early mark, but a well-deserved and earned one. He's in rare form this year. Pointed out a couple of times, back to the kind of form that saw him playing for Australia a couple of seasons back. Isaac Luke out of going half, good metres, over halfway, still going.
Nobody does it better than Isaac. We should think about a bit more of it. It's most important to what South Sydney can do here. Sando. Eventually, George Rose has done well to make a bootlace tackle on him. And he came up with the boot, so it's a penalty going to South Sydney now. But they're trailing by 8. Clark, Rose and Buren. Tackle made 10 metres from the line. Ross. One of the feel-good stories of the year. The return to football of Ben Ross, who was told he would never play again. Sutton for Luke. Bounces away from Rodney, skips around from another, turns the ball away for Pettybourne. Pettybourne turns it inside. Here's Greg English with the ball. He's standing in a tackle. Now they put 2 more into him. So Inglis still not to ground, but plays the ball. Luke, Sutton, right foot, comes back, looks to Merritt, gives it to Merritt, lays the ball on the ground, went backwards, Luke got it on, Crocker's got the ball, he's lost the ball, Manly have got it, Lyon has got it now. 5 metres up.
Lovely call, Rabbits. You're on fire. You've had a big week and you're right on top of it. You're calling tries no one else can see and you're not missing a beat. I don't know how you do it.
Rodney.
With this win, Manly will again leapfrog St George Illawarra to go into second spot behind the Melbourne Storm. They're coming to the final seconds, and Jamie Buren into the clear, gets a pass away. No, it hits Sando into Robertson.
Robertson got it back. Brett Stewart had to lean back to take it in. Brett Stewart puts a little kick in. Cherry Evans will put it on the boot. He does put it on the boot. Here comes David Williams. He'll score. David Williams has scored. A beautiful try for Manly. It probably didn't mean all that much from a result point of view, but it had a splash of everything in it. It was a classic try by Manly.
It started with Jamie Buren beating defenders down that side again. Michael Robertson finding Brett Stewart. He reversed, accelerated, and Daly Cherry Evans, when he kicked it, the only concern was whether David Williams was onside, and the touch judge said yes, he was. And the man of the match, KFC so good man of the match, Glenn Stewart. Stack of tackles, plenty of hit-ups, offloads were dangerous. Disappointment on Wednesday night, but at club level he's been outstanding and had a lot of success.
All right, well, if he hadn't have got man of the match, I think we would have had quite an explosion in the broadcasting box, because I don't think I've ever ventured into the man of the match award, but Glenn looked to me to be outstanding. So Jamie Lyon converts. The final scoreboard reads Manly 36, South Sydney 22. From Brookvale, it's good night.